Welcome back, everyone. This topic brings us to a delicate part of our personal lives: managing friendships with difficult people. Friendships can be some of the most fulfilling relationships, but when a friend becomes difficult, it can strain the bond and cause confusion. Unlike family or work relationships, we often feel more freedom in choosing our friends, but that doesn't make it any easier to handle conflict. In this lecture, we'll explore strategies for maintaining friendships with difficult individuals, setting boundaries, and recognizing when it may be time to step back. Learning objectives of the lecture. After going through this lecture, you will be able to identify common traits of difficult friends and why these behaviors arise. Learn strategies to manage challenging friendships while maintaining your mental and emotional well-being. Develop techniques for deciding when to address problems, set boundaries, or distance yourself from difficult friendships. Friendships, like all relationships, have ups and downs. But what do you do when your friend consistently crosses boundaries, is overly negative, or takes advantage of your kindness? We'll start by identifying some common types of difficult friends and why their behavior can become problematic over time. Types of difficult friends. The self-centered friend. This person dominates conversations with their own problems, rarely asks how you're doing, and expects you to always be there for them. They often leave you feeling drained and unimportant. The drama magnet. This friend is constantly involved in conflict or crisis and pulls you into their emotional ups and downs. They might bring unnecessary stress into your life by involving you in their latest drama. The unreliable friend. This friend frequently cancels plans, forgets commitments, or only reaches out when they need something. They don't reciprocate the support you give, leaving the friendship feeling one-sided. The negative friend. This person is consistently pessimistic, critical, or complaining. Their negativity can weigh you down, making it hard to stay positive or enjoy your time together. Why friends act this way. Understanding why a friend behaves in a difficult manner can help you approach the situation with empathy. Often, friends don't realize they're being difficult. They might be going through a tough time, dealing with insecurities, or struggling with emotional issues they haven't addressed. Example: a self-centered friend may be unaware of their behavior because they're overwhelmed by their own challenges and don't realize they're not giving the friendship the balance it needs. Strategies for managing difficult friendships. Set boundaries and communicate openly. Boundaries are essential in any relationship, but they're especially important when a friend's behavior begins to negatively affect you. Have an honest conversation with your friend about what you need from the friendship and where your boundaries are. Use I statements to express your feelings without sounding accusatory. Example: I really value our friendship, but I feel drained when we only talk about problems. Can we make sure to balance our conversations and catch up about good things too? Limit exposure to negativity. If you have a friend who is constantly negative, it's okay to limit how often you engage with their complaints or pessimism. You don't have to cut them off entirely, but you can choose when and how to interact. Encourage more positive or neutral conversations and gently steer away from drama. Example: when the conversation turns negative, try redirecting it by saying, "I understand that situation is frustrating. Let's talk about something else for a bit. What's been going well for you lately?" Stay firm with unreliable friends. When dealing with unreliable friends, be clear about your expectations and don't be afraid to call them out on their behavior. If they consistently cancel plans or don't show up for you, it's okay to address it directly but kindly. Example: I was really looking forward to spending time together, but it's disappointing when plans get canceled last minute. Can we make sure to stick to our plans next time? Decide when to step back. There are times when a friendship may become too difficult to maintain, especially if it's causing more harm than good. If you've set boundaries, communicated openly, and still find the friendship draining, it might be time to distance yourself. This doesn't have to mean a dramatic breakup, but you can gradually reduce contact or shift the dynamic to protect your own mental health. Example: you can limit how often you spend time together, or take longer to respond to messages, while remaining polite and respectful. If the friendship naturally fades, it's often a sign that both of you need space. Story illustration. Let's talk about Laura, who had been friends with Rachel since college. Over time, Rachel became more self-absorbed, often venting about her life without asking how Laura was doing. Laura felt like their friendship had become one-sided, leaving her emotionally exhausted after each interaction. Rather than avoiding Rachel, Laura decided to have an honest conversation with her. She expressed how she felt and asked if they could work toward balancing the relationship. Rachel hadn't realized the impact she was having and agreed to be more mindful. Their friendship improved as a result. Moral of the story: this straightforward conversation allowed both Laura and Rachel to mend their distorted friendship. Sometimes, friends aren't aware of their behavior, and an honest conversation can bring positive change. Friendship as a garden. Think of friendships like a garden. If you only water one side of the garden while neglecting the other, the plants won't grow evenly, and part of the garden will wither. Friendships, like gardens, need balance and care from both sides. If one person is always giving and the other is only taking, the relationship becomes unbalanced and unhealthy. Moral of the analogy: just like a garden needs balanced care, friendships need mutual effort and attention to grow healthily. Both sides need to contribute equally for the relationship to thrive. Follow-up assignments. Reflect on a current or past friendship that has been difficult to manage. Write a one-page reflection on what made the friendship challenging and what strategies from today's lecture you could have applied to improve the relationship. Create a list of boundaries you might need to set with a difficult friend. Practice how you would communicate these boundaries clearly and kindly in a conversation. So, have you ever had to set boundaries with a difficult friend? How did it go? Or do you have a friendship that feels one-sided or draining? Feel free to share your experiences or ask any questions about managing difficult friendships in comment section. Conclusion. That wraps up today's lecture on managing friendships with difficult people. In our next lecture, we'll explore difficult romantic relationships and how to navigate challenges with a partner. Keep dealing with difficult people and keep leaning with Eduta.